Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers is the man himself, Logan Landers. How's it going, Mr. Landers?
Hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? Happy Monday to everyone out there watching us live right now, first and foremost. I'm doing great, ready to talk some football with you. It's Clemson, baby. This is going to be a very tough team this year. I'm ready to watch them, and I'm ready to talk about them, though.
That is so awesome. Yeah. So everyone who's watching, make sure that you continue to like, share, and subscribe because all of your shares, especially your shares over into Facebook groups, have been getting us an enormous amount of traction and attention, and we really appreciate it. Every time that you share your videos over, we get new followers and new comments and new people in with our gang here at 100 Yards of Football, and we really just appreciate it. Well, Mr. Landers, without further ado, tell us about the Clemson Tigers. Where are their strengths and weaknesses? What are their struggles going to be? What challenges they have? And how are they going to bring it home?
Well, Jeremiah, I think the biggest challenge they're going to have is having a brand new quarterback and a brand new running back. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence went to the NFL doing his thing now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll have to see how he does. And Travis Etienne joined him in Jacksonville in the NFL draft as well. So you just lost two of your offensive powerhouses in the NFL draft. But being a great school like Clemson, you knew that day had to come. Unfortunately, two guys who help bring you a championship, get you a bunch of wins, set a lot of school records, and most importantly, keep the fans happy. Unfortunately, they are gone now. It is a new regime over there for Clemson, but don't be too scared now. I think this is a very good program who's done a lot of good recruiting, who have a lot of good talent. I'm ready to talk about them. So under center this year, they're going to have DJ Uyunglele. So hopefully hopefully we're going to get that name right throughout the season. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but we're just going to call him DJ for the rest of this video and keep it simple. So hopefully that he can have another great season because when Trevor Lawrence missed a few games last year, he stepped in and my God, was he impressive. Threw for over 300 yards in his first career start against Boston College. And then the next week, casually, he had over 430 yards passing against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And man, if you are a Clemson fan right now and you just lost one of the better, QBs in your school's history, you have this guy coming in who in short spurts last year proved that he has what it takes to be a quality starting quarterback. And, man, I am excited for this guy. I think he's going to have a tremendous year. Am I going to expect him to put up Trevor Lawrence numbers? Not quite yet. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. But, man, just in that short sample size, just in those few games, he was very impressive. He's got a lot of heart to him. He's very gritty. And, obviously, he can throw the ball to the best of them. So I think that as long as he can improve, as long as he can maintain a good status and really just, limit turnovers and throw for a lot of yards like he's going to keep doing, I think Clemson's going to be in good shape for their new quarterback this upcoming season. And, man, they got to have a lot of wide receivers who are going to help him out as well. It's going to be like I said, it's a brand new team for the most part. They've lost a lot of guys to the draft. But for me, the key this year for the wide receiving position is Justin Ross. He's coming off of an injury. He missed a lot of time. How is he going to do this year? Because when he's on the field, he is an absolute playmaker. So how is that injury going to affect him? Will it hamper his stats? Or will he be fully back 100% and ready to rock for the Clemson Tigers this year? That remains to be seen. Also, you have Joseph Nagata, E.J. Williams. Those are some guys who I really think are going to help out at the wide receiving position and who are really going to help get that next step, get that production, and who I think might help that Clemson offense maintain a very, very good record this year. So I think that overall for the offense side of the ball is going to be very nice. You got Brandon Galloway, Davis Allen doing some good work at the tight end position as well. They're going to be expected to get a lot more catches this year, so they're going to step up a lot in the offensive side of the ball. And then Lynn J. Dixon is looking like the man who they're going to have take over at the running back position. A very formidable guy. He's a senior. He's had some experience. He knows his playbook in and out. So they're getting a guy who's got some very good time with the team, who's helped them out, who's been through a lot throughout his tenure at Clemson. So he's got a guy who averages around 6.5 yards a carry back when he gets his turn, back when before Travis Etienne just exploded and really helped out that program and set records. So Dixon's coming in with his chance to really, step up and get that NFL draft stock up even more. So I think that that's really going to be the key is how's Lynn J. Dixon going to do? How's DJ Uyunglele? How's he going to do? And how are the wide receivers and tight ends? How are they going to step up? So I think those are the keys. I think that's how is that offense going to move over from one talent to the other? How are they going to do? I think they're going to be fine. I think that the talent is there. It's just, is the production going to be the same? I think they might take a small step back, and I mean very minuscule, in terms of productivity, in terms of how they're going to do with turnovers and whatnot. But I think they're still going to be fine. They're a very solid team on the offensive side of the ball, and they are going to be fine. And let's talk about the defense, because the defense, it didn't end on a good note last year against Ohio State. They had a lot of yards put up against them. So they're coming in this year with something to prove. They have a lot of key pieces that they need to have. So I think that Brian Bresee is going to be one of the best guys coming back. They have 10 starters coming back from last year, and all 4 of the defensive linemen are coming back. So I think that that's going to help. That defense is coming back. They're hungry. They're ready to prove, hey, look, we ended the season last year. We did not do a good job at all. They got a chip on their shoulders. They're ready to come back. They're ready to get another championship, and they're ready to prove something. And with 10 guys coming back on your defensive side of the ball, that is a good thing to have. You got guys who know this playbook. You got guys who have been in the trenches, who've been doing good work for this program for a lot of games now. And you got guys who are experienced, which is key. In the ACC, they're looking like the number 1 contenders right now. But I know they got their eyes set on that number 4, 3, 2, or 1 position going into that college football playoff. That's when the money talks. That's when it's ready to go in there and see how they're going to do. But I think that overall, the defense side of the ball, they got to step up. They got to have a good year. And they have a lot of guys who could help out. They got Tyler Davis, Miles Murphy, KJ Henry. The list goes on and on. They have a lot of guys who are productive, who can help out that defense, who can get a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions, sacks. Name it, this team can and probably will do it. They got a lot to prove. They got a new fire under them now. Dabo Swinney's going to be excited to have this kind of, I wouldn't say new, but another crop of guys come in and help them out. And also at linebacker, James Kolaski, man, he's coming back for his 6th season, that super senior. So he's ready to come back and prove what he can do for his final year. So I think that overall, all in all, Clemson is going to have a breakout year. They're going to be another team in that contention for the college football playoff. And I'm looking at their schedule, and honestly, it's pretty easy, all in all. Looking at some of the teams they're facing, I mean, it is the ACC, so they're going to be facing a lot of teams who they're just a little bit better than, all in all. Clemson has had a tremendous few years with recruiting, obviously championships, being in that college football playoff seemingly every single year. So they have a lot of talent, and they're going up against teams like South Carolina State, Georgia Tech, Boston College, Pittsburgh, our guy Bobby Butler's team, Florida State with the Seminoles. So they've got, some teams that are going to give them a run for their money. But all in all, I think that Clemson is going to have another tremendous season. I expect them to just run through the majority of these teams. Maybe get 1 loss on the year. They face Georgia the first game of the year, so that's going to be honestly their biggest test, I think. They play Georgia on September 4th, so that's going to be their one really big challenge. So if they win that, I think honestly they could run the table and go undefeated. But if not, well, hey, 1 loss is still more than likely going to get you into that college football playoff. So I think Clemson, well, yes, they have a lot of brand new guys on offense. They have a lot of guys who want to prove themselves, the brand new quarterback, brand new running back, and receivers who are looking to have a lot of production, a lot of yards, and a lot of catches. And I think that the offense is going to be fine. The defense, can you step up? Can you prove that, hey, look, that last game last year against Ohio State when Justin Fields threw for a bunch of yards on us, that was a fluke. We're coming back this year determined, ready to prove that we are ready for this year. And I think that Clemson is going to have a great season. I expect them to be in the college football playoff once again. So all the Tigers fans out there, you can thank me already for predicting this. And, hey, don't come at me with pitchforks if something goes wrong, but I think that Clemson's going to have a great year all in all.
I definitely have to agree there. I think we're going to see the Clemson Tigers in the playoffs this coming season, and I just want to see them come out the gate strong. And I've mentioned this in a few other videos, but for all the fans out there, are you looking forward to being back in the stadium? Are you looking forward to being in a packed room with your drink, with your snack, with maybe you've got a pretzel, maybe you've got a Coke, you're sitting there in the stadium, you're watching the game in person, or do you love to listen to the game on the radio or watch it on TV? What is your favorite way to watch Clemson football? So please let us know, because we love to sit and watch football too, and we can't wait to get back to the stadium ourselves. And everybody who's watching currently, thank you so much for watching. And are you listening to our podcast? Because if you're not, you should definitely go and check out 100 Yards of Football, our podcast, over on Spotify, over on Apple Podcasts, or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We put a podcast up almost every single day. We'll keep you company on your morning drive. We'll keep you company on your evening drive home, or any of those in-between times when you're in the office or in just hanging out, having a workout, just want to know some more about football or have an extra minute to take a walk. Just pull up our podcast, 100 Yards of Football, and we'll be with you on your journey everywhere that you go. Well, for the entire team here at 100 Yards of Football, I'm the producer, Jeremiah Long, and you've been listening to our preview of the Clemson Tigers with our host, Logan Landers. We'll be back with another live video here in just a few minutes.